You only have 3 seconds to hook a girl's interest when you approach her. And even then, all you have is momentary interest, because I'll let you in on a secret. It's actually the next 60 seconds that is either going to make or break your interaction. It's either going to lead her to carrying on walking or you potentially going on a date. I have done over 1,000 approaches, and I've found that there was a common trend in all of the successful ones. There was 3 things that I did. And in this video, I'm going to detail down exactly what those 3 things are so you can have more successful approaches, because the first one is easily the most important thing to establish when you go over there and speak to someone. Second one, okay, the second one's great because what it does is allow you to avoid the worst case scenario, which causes so many men to have fear around approaching. And it sets you up really perfectly for the best case scenario. And then the third thing you need to establish, this one's the most essential for trying to develop that close sense of connection quickly and being able to push that interaction in a way that brings you two closer. So, my name's Andrew Wilkinson. I am a men's dating and relationship coach. I help people all over the world get their dream girlfriend, and I do it through methods like this, helping guys go up and approach girls. So, let's dive into it, and let's go with the most important one. And this one, embarrassingly, led an interaction I had for the girl 10 minutes in to just kind of turn to me and go, "Sorry, what is this?" She was 10 minutes deep into this interaction, was so confused that the only choice she'd been left with was to literally call it out. And that is because I missed the most important thing, and that is to state why I was there, because otherwise girls are just left confused. It's something really different to have someone walk over. She's literally had this guy come over and it's like, oh, is this guy selling something to me? Is he pranking me? Like, is he genuinely interested? Like, what is happening here? I don't know. And that's why the most important thing you can establish early on is just why you came over. Because otherwise she might evaluate you, and likely will, on the incorrect scale. She might have this guy come over, it's like, oh, well, this guy's kind of cute, but I have no idea what he wants. I'm busy, I'm gonna go. And that is what it's like for the head of a girl if she's thinking through what's happening, because it all happens so fast. Instead, we want to just state very clearly, "Hi, I saw you from over there, I thought you looked awesome and I wanted to come say hi." It's like, that is clearly stating what you are there for, because it allows you to just lead that interaction. It doesn't leave her just like vague and foggy like this girl was that I left 10 minutes in for her to then just be like, what is going on here? And it was because I just never set that frame. I didn't go over and just clearly indicate, hey, I really like your hat, I thought you looked awesome, and I wanted to come say hi. And just having that frame so she can evaluate you properly to be like, oh, this guy's just interested in me. Yeah, I'm open to speaking to him. We'll see where it goes. Because otherwise, like, you have that opportunity to just miss out. And this is why it is the most important thing that you can establish, because approaching is different. It's not something she'll experience every day. And for you to be the leader in that interaction, clearly stating what you're going up there for, is also attractive. It shows the ability to lead, and it lets her slip into that clear mindset of just being like, okay, this is what's happening. Cool, okay, this guy seems cool. Let's do it. So that is the first thing to establish. And as I say, in the first 60 seconds, don't leave it to draw on, because otherwise she's just going to get confused and like the interaction won't go anywhere. The second one, and I love this one. So this is the one that allows you to avoid that worst case scenario and set you up really well for the best case. And funnily enough, is what allowed me to have an amazing time with the girl that ended up being my current girlfriend. And it's simply because when I walked over to her, said hi, I asked her one simple question, and this is a game changer. And for any of you out there that's just like, oh, I don't know what to say to a girl when you go over, this, right? I said, what are you up to today? And yeah, that is simple, but let me talk you through why that is so effective. Because when you start to find out what she's doing today, it gives her a very easy opportunity to be like, hey, I'm just about to meet my boyfriend in 2 minutes. Cool. That gives me an ability to not have to be reactive to whatever's going on. It's like, oh, she's just about to meet her boyfriend. I hope you two have an awesome day. I'm going. Or what actually worked out for me was, hey, what are you up to today? Oh, I'm out shopping. I've got to buy a dress for an event I'm going to. Cool. This means this girl does not have any distinct immediate plans and would potentially be open, if we get on quite well, to spending a bit of time together. There's that opportunity there. There's nothing that is going to come and close off the interaction. Because I've seen this even with another girl that I had an interaction with. I went over. She was kind of sat on a bench and eating a pretzel. And I walked over, I think it was near a statue, and I walked over and I simply said, sort of, hi, and cool pretzel, whatever, what are you up to? And she said she was on her lunch hour. And I was like, oh, cool. That set a frame in my head of like, we have got a limited time. At some point, she's gonna have to go. And we ended up getting on really well. And I noticed like we were getting on well, and then she started checking her phone a little bit, and it was like 12:55. And I was like, cool, this must mean her break's coming up. So I just called it out. I was like, oh, is your lunch break nearly over? And then she was like, yeah. I was like, okay, well, I've had a great time. How about we meet again and get to know each other a bit better, maybe over like a tea? And she was like, yeah, let's do it. And we managed to set up a date off the back of that. And it was only because I was on the front foot. It didn't end up being where she was like, oh shit, I've got to get back to the office. It was awesome meeting you, I've got to go. What asking this question does is allow you to be in control of the situation. You have context, you're not going to get caught off guard, be reactive. And the amount of times that I've walked up to a girl, I've asked her, oh, what are you up to? And she's like, oh, I'm just waiting for some friends. And I'm like, okay, that means if a bunch of random people suddenly walk over and join our conversation, don't be alarmed. This is just her friendship group. And it allows you to come across way more attractive because it shows that you've got that social etiquette and social intelligence to understand and guide her through these conversations. And as I say, this is what happened when I met the girl that went on to be my girlfriend. I said, oh, cool, you're out shopping? I was like, oh, I'll walk with you for 2 minutes. We ended up walking around a couple of shops. We were looking essentially for the dress together. And then when we ran out of shops, I knew she didn't have anywhere to be. So I was just like, let's shoot your shot. Do you want to go for a quick coffee? It's like, it gives you the opportunity to have the instant date. I cannot overstate how amazing this simple, extremely simple question is. It's like, oh, cool, it helps me avoid bumping into boyfriends and doing all that. And she might even offer that up if she's just not interested. And in that case, cool, I don't have to waste my time speaking to someone that wasn't interested. So it gives her such an easy out if that's the reasons. And then on the bonus side, it allows me to understand a bit more about what this girl's got going on. And it also gives us such an easy platform off to have conversations. I remember walking up to a girl and just simply asking, oh, what are you up to today? And she was like, oh, well, I'm going out to meet my friends for a drink. I barely ever come out, but she's got me out because it's her birthday. And I was like, wow, awesome. I've got like 4 or 5 different jumping off points there. We've got like birthday with friends. How come she doesn't go out too much? Why is it so special, this one? And it's like, awesome. That's what we're looking for. It's like, we have this simple question and then it produces a bunch of tangents and helps us understand what's going on for her. So both of these, as I say, first 60 seconds, we're stating why are we there? But then we're also checking out and clarifying what is she up to, so then potentially we can merge our path together. The third one, and once again, if anyone ever said to you that you should avoid small talk with girls, they're wrong. In that first 60 seconds, when you've walked over and you've literally changed the direction of her entire day, potentially, her entire life, potentially, if you end up marrying the girl, and then you need to be able to have something pretty simple to speak about in there because there's a lot of emotions going everywhere. So what I love to ask and just say is like, hi, What's your name? Because the thing is, even if you're in your head of like, oh, what's going on? Oh, this is strange. Someone says, what's your name? You have the ability to respond to that. You've done it a million times. You're just like, oh, it's Sarah, it's Claire. And the better bonus of this, usually when you introduce yourself to someone, you're willing and you shake hands. It's just like, oh, my name's Andrew, nice to meet you. And that means literally in that first 60 seconds, you've sort of broken the touch barrier, you've built that comfort, you've built that rapport, we're no longer just strangers on the street, we've exchanged names, and if you use that with the other two, it's like, okay, so we're not strangers on the street, we've broken the touch barrier, so we're more comfortable with each other, like, I know what she's up to today, she knows why I'm here. That combination of all of them sets you up and tees you up perfectly to establish just a closer connection. It turbocharges your ability to connect. Because as I say, you're not just like awkwardly stood around with this random person. It's like, no, you shook hands, you said hello. You feel that sense of bonding between you. And by and large, unless the girl is extremely averse or not interested at all, she'll be willing to do that. And it sets you up to have a really intimate connection. And I would say it's like, you're not out there to win the heart of every single girl. It's never going to happen. But if you're able to do these three, what it does allow you to do is not mess up and not lose out on the girls that would have been interested in you because you kind of fumbled the bag. You didn't come across as particularly coordinated in how you did it. You were stumbling over your words. She didn't know why you were there and she didn't know who you were. This is a mini little playbook of what you can do, and I think is essential. Of all the interactions that I've had that have been successful, I've distilled it down to those three things. They're the commonalities between all of them. And then if you want to take it from there, from that initial 60 seconds and turn it into something that could last a lifetime, well, I have one secret thing that I offer to girls that I think is potentially the most valuable thing in the modern day. It's something that I can offer that I don't think many other guys can offer right now. I'm giving that away because in this video up here, I show you the one thing that you can offer girls that can take that interaction and turn it into something that could be the relationship of your dreams. So if you want to be that guy that can offer something different, check out this video. I guarantee it will turbocharge your relationships.